So I am here off Bourbon Street. I am going to go to one of the classiest places around, Restaurant Revolution in the Royal Sonesta Hotel, to try a dish called Death by Gumbo. Tell me all about Death by Gumbo.
Okay, well, it's kind of complicated. You know, there's a few different elements involved. There's the actual gumbo base, which it starts with a traditional dark roux. So you need some smoking hot oil, and you're going to add your flour, and you're going to keep whisking that. It takes sometimes up to about 20 minutes, depending how large the batch is, to get that nice dark brown chocolate nutty roux. Then you're going to add your trinity, which is just typical of any gumbo. The trinity consists of celery, onions, bell pepper, that's the trinity, and then garlic being the pope.
I mean, it's just a smidgen behind being burnt, right?
Exactly.
And that's what you're really going for, is sort of right up to the edge of...
Just at that edge, and literally it's just in seconds it'll be burnt.
So is this a Cajun or a Creole gumbo base?
This is a Cajun gumbo that we're doing here.
So there's meat.
Absolutely. It's all about smoked meats. So in the process of while we're making our roux, we also have our stock going, which has been, we use a chicken stock base, but we fortify it with all the little quail bits, parts and pieces that are left over from the stuffed quail, as well as duck bones, chicken bones, whatever we might have in house.
You're really extracting all of the flavor from
all the
everything.
Smoky flavors, from house-made tasso to any smoked sausage, leftover tidbits of bacon, all that deliciousness goes in that stock.
I was going to say there's that sheen on it, right?
Absolutely.
It's just
created from the oil that is inside the roux. That's your basic, very traditional gumbo. We're not like reinventing the wheel here. It's very simple.
But you are adding a significant complexity to the dish.
We are, and that begins with really the quail. So what we do is we take this beautiful little fat quail who's semi-boneless already, and we cook off some white rice, and we're going to season that white rice with a little chopped parsley, some sliced scallions, and the filet powder. That's really a huge element to the flavor component of the dish.
Tell us about filet powder, because that's very popular in New Orleans cooking, correct?
Absolutely. So filet comes from the sassafras tree, and it comes from the grinding of the dried leaves. It's actually used as a thickening agent, brought to us from the Choctaw Indians, introduced to us as one of the 7 nations, being the Native Americans. That's how it was introduced into the Cajun Creole cuisines of Louisiana. The idea behind it is all the ingredients that you would normally eat with this gumbo are stuffed inside of that quail. Like normally you would eat rice with a gumbo.
Right.
So we're stuffing this quail with the filet rice, the poached oyster, the smoked andouille. Table side, that broth is poured over the quail and into the bowl.
So it's kind of a deconstructed, reconstructed, and then there's some other things going on in there.
Evolution of gumbo.
You can really smell the andouille sausage, that spiky flavor is coming right out. Smoky. Oh my God, the mouthfeel is sensational. And you can really taste the pepper in this. You can taste the onion. It's amazing because something that's been reduced for that long, yet to still have those flavors so apparent, it's pretty special. There's a viscosity to this thing. There's like, just coats your whole mouth with flavor. It's amazing. If that's all there was, I would be delighted. But there's a whole quail sitting in this soup. So let's get down to business. Wow, it is so cute. Almost don't want to eat it. Almost don't want to eat it. They basically deboned this whole quail. There's a couple of bones up front and some in the back. But I'm just going to get in there right now. Look at that beautiful piece of quail meat. Lovely pink hue. Also perfectly cooked. A lot of times, because quail is so small, it looks really nice on the outside and then it's kind of shriveled and charred and sort of sad. But this one is really quite pleasant. I'm going to try some of this stuffing now. So this is deeply evocative of so many things that I've eaten in New Orleans. The sausage, the gumbo itself, the jambalaya. But when you get that quail, it's kind of smoky. It's almost like barbecue. And I guess that's the sausage sort of having its influence on it. And look at that mother load right there. Also made in-house. So really, this is as artisanal as you can get. Wow. Everything is perfectly cooked. Like nothing, the quail is like tender and supple, just a hint of pink. The sausage is like rendered, but it's not overcooked. I mean, it's just, oh, and I'm getting that smokiness coming through. This is really a pleasant dish. All right, I found the oyster, so I win the prize. Maybe the oyster is what kills you. Maybe if you don't eat the oyster, it's not death by gumbo. Let's find out anyway. What I find remarkable about this dish is that it's the clarity of flavor. That oyster was stuffed in this thing, roasted, it's got this stuff all over it, it's surrounded in shrimp, but it still tasted like an oyster. You got that brininess out of it. The same with the quail, the same with the andouille. It's just, the flavors are all there. Combined, they're really profound, but you can identify them. It's like listening to an orchestra, but you can hear the separate instruments. Remarkable. I kind of want to just keep eating this, so let's just wrap this up. I would encourage you to come down to Nolan's and definitely try Death by Gumbo.
Steak Diane sauce, it's the traditional red wine and veal.
So supposedly named after the Roman goddess Diane?
Correct, goddess of the hunt.